say, Ben, we are live. We're going to be talking about something you uh, changed your mind on a long time ago. And Ben, we've met through an interview with Mark Gassert and myself, and we've had some conversation. And I introduced you to a company and a product. And your response back to me sort of astonished me. I was really interested in introducing the product because I believe the product has value for everybody. And in our first conversation after that fact, and then we'll sort of go into that, you said, I'm more interested than you think. And I didn't pick up on that in the beginning. But Ben, I just really, you come from a background of years of network marketing and business coaching and sales and all that. And you've been very successful in those arenas. And I would like you to, maybe just tell us a little bit out with this concept right here, when hell freezes over.
Well, as you know, I joined Holiday Magic Cosmetics, which was becoming and did become the largest MLM direct sales company in the world. At the time, bigger than Amway and Shackley combined. I joined it Wednesday, September 15th, 1965, along at noon. It sticks in my mind because my life took a 180-degree turn and a pivot. And answering the same ad and joining the same day was Zig Ziglar. He and I became buddies till the day he died, and friendly competitors and so on. So that's how I got into MLM. I was broke. I was putting my wife through nursing school. My wife at the time, she's since passed away. And I saw a little ad in the paper. It said, if you know anything about marketing plans and want to make more money, dial this number. Well, I knew about marketing plans. I didn't know about marketing plans, but I did know I need to make more money. So I responded to the ad, raced down to the meeting. It turned out I was 2 blocks away and had 10 minutes to get there. And saw the first drawing of circles. We have 4 positions, and he started drawing circles on the blackboard. And when he got done, Zig and I joined, and my partner, James H. Rucker Jr., we all joined, and off we went. And I didn't know the ride I was in for. I literally was just trying to make enough money. I'd have been happy with the money for next semester's tuition for nursing school. But that began a ride where we made millions of dollars. I've since traveled all over the world, met kings and queens and princesses and business leaders and so on, all from that little ad and a marketing plan and a good product. So I was thrilled. But over time, things changed at the company. And this is 5 years out. Things changed at the company. The government agencies got very critical of anything that had MLM in its name, or the pyramid schemes is what they chose to call it. And although I had done very well and walked away with a lot of money, and almost everything I've done since then, you can trace back to that phone booth on Peachtree Street in Atlanta where I answered the ad, it soured me. And then a lot of people got into the business who didn't know anything about business. I don't mean Holiday Magic, MLM. Got into the business who didn't know anything about running a business and didn't know or care about the products they sold. A company we used to private label some stuff in the health department business. I walked through their factory one day, and there must have been, I'm making up numbers, must have been 10 or 15 MLM companies I knew who all got their products at the same place, and they didn't make different products for different people. They just changed the label, and that began to sour me a little bit. I was sort of looking for a miracle product, and then eventually it was just time to leave. So ever since then, people were saying, are you going to start your own? If you start your own, I'll join immediately. And I said, I will join another MLM when hell freezes over. And that was sort of the end of the discussion for me. And then over the years, I qualified that a little bit. I will join another MLM if I own it, if the products are wonderful, if the marketing plan is fair and square for everybody involved, and everybody has a decent chance to make a lot of money and so on. Well, with those qualifications, I was able to stay out of MLM for 25, 30 years because nothing met that qualification. But I'm in all the sales groups. So I started watching, I didn't start, I watch sales groups. And this strange name, ASEA, kept popping up. And then some people I knew and respected were in it, and they started popping up. And then you and I talked and created a almost instant friendship and affinity.
Thank you.
And through you, I met and simultaneously met Mark Gassert, and then through you, Dr. Dave Silverman, and through the three of you, Tyler Norton, your head guy. And I was so I started looking around and checking with people and so on. I couldn't find any flaws. I always picture it like you're sanding a board, and it's rough when you start. And then the trick is to get it so smooth there's not a thing anywhere on the board that'll snag your finger. And I couldn't find the rough spot. So I'm a generalist. If your wife has a purse with makeup in it, she knows more about makeup cosmetics than I do, and I've been president of two large cosmetic companies. Because what I tend to do is find people I know, like, and trust who are experts in their field, and I get them to tell me, if they can, this is as good as it gets. This is the best stuff. I've always said to our chemists, I want to walk to the front of the room, hold up a jar of whatever it is, cold cream, body lotion, whatever, and be able to say with a clear conscience, this is the finest product you can buy. There may be others as good, so maybe you're down to the odor, the aroma, the color, the feel, or what have you. But we only make our stuff with pharmaceutical grade products, in the health field and the cosmetic field and so on. And it's designed by a person who is the top in his industry. In that case, it was Morton W. Scott, the same guy who invented Bromo Seltzer, and Sally Hansen Hard as Nails, and all of our product line. So I said, send me to the front of the room. Let me hold it up and say, this is the best you can get. If you like the aroma and like the color and the feel, you ought to get it. If you don't, that's the reason they make chocolate and vanilla ice cream. So I was looking for a product that was like that, or products like that, and people I knew, liked, trusted, and felt safe with. And you, Tom, Tyler, Dave Silverman, Mark, fit that category. And then digging around and checking with people that I knew, the products were A plus. And then I checked the compensation program, and it turned out you fit all of those things that I was looking for. So I wrote something up that you guys are free to publish. The headline is Hell Has Frozen Over. After all those years, I jumped back in with both feet. I wholeheartedly endorse it, would even if I were not an associate. And I just think the world of the products and the stories I've heard. You really got a winning horse here, and I want to help ride it.
Well, thank you, Ben. And it's an honor to know you, and you consider the trust and a friendship. That's how I think that's the most important thing in a business relationship. And you've done your due diligence, and I did my due diligence. I think it's important that when we look at network marketing or MLM or whatever we want to call it, yeah, there's some great companies out there, and there's some that have horror stories as well. I did my due diligence myself, and I think that's important. As we're talking here today, is anybody's looking at any company, those are things you should be looking at. Is the integrity of the company, the product, is it exceptional, is it unique, and all those type of things, and does it pay fairly well for what the efforts you put into it? And because there's everything takes effort in this world, and you expound that on a regular basis. So I appreciate the fact that you took those extra steps. My intention was to show it was just on the product side because I know the value of the product, and so and our conversation has evolved to where we are today. But so sort of, you mentioned a lot of things in that first opening round there, but what was it that really got your attention? What was it that says maybe I should take a look at this? What was that?
Well, all of the things we just discussed, but if you want to talk about product, for instance, it sounded intriguing. I'm not a chemist, but very few companies have their own patented products, for instance, because they're all buying them at the same place. A friend of mine wanted to get in multi-level marketing for some reason a year or so ago. And I said, what do you want to sell? He said, well, whatever sells best. And so my point was, it wasn't a crusade on his part. He just wanted to own a multi-level marketing company. And he said, but I don't know where to start. I said, get out your pen and paper. And he got them out. And I gave him 2 phone numbers. The one for that is a big deal in producing vitamins and diet stuff, and another one that does custom labeling of various cosmetics. And I said, here's the 2 numbers. He said, what do I do? And then I gave him a number of the multi-level marketing national association, whatever it's called. And I said, they'll give you approved marketing plans that probably won't put you in jail if you exercise them honestly. And this guy will get your vitamins, and this guy will get your cosmetics. Go. And I mean, in 10 minutes, I put him into the multi-level marketing business, and he's doing okay. But he's just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Hi, I've got a cosmetic. Hi, I've got vitamins. Who doesn't?
Right.
It's like coaching has become. I was kidding with somebody the other day, and I said, I met someone the other day who is not a life coach. It was in the grocery store. It was random chance, but they swore they were not a life coach. Well, that's sort of what MLM and a lot of the direct sales companies have become. They're just the same product with a different name on it. And the marketing plan that was set by NutraBio 50 years ago. I did go to a NutraBio meeting about 50 years ago, a little over 50 years ago, and tried to join, but no one would talk to me. You should never show up at a big meeting when you're 16 years old, still have acne, a flat top, and a cheap sport coat. No one wants to give you the time of day. And only one gentleman was kind enough to come over and actually spend a little time with me, and then I went home without having joined. 5-6 years later, I joined a different company, basically the same marketing plan, and walked back into the same hotel to a meeting with 400 or 500 people in it, and I was off and running in that business. But unique as we like to say, and as good as we like to say the products were, you could have called my private label manufacturer and gotten something just as good with a phone call. And I did with a different company. What's unique about you guys is you have something that virtually no one else is doing, and you got the patent on it. And I began to hear, in addition to just seeing the name, I began to hear some of the stories. And these weren't people telling me a story to recruit me. They were just talking about the product, and I was sort of listening in. And if anything, and you and I have discussed this, Tom, it's almost too good, because you have to teach your associates not to go overboard and begin making health claims that they shouldn't make. It's good enough exactly as it is. Just tell the truth as the company has explained it to you, because it is a wonderful product run by people, I mentioned say this earlier, run by people who are quality folks. They weren't vacuum cleaner salesmen last week and head of a multi-level health thing this week. Been at it a while, and the longevity is impressive. Most MLM companies have a 3, 4, 5-year run and they're gone. And as we record this, I think you're in or about to be in your 13th year.
That's correct. Yeah,
That's Yeah, that's also impressive. You may not have any idea how rare that is. I don't know many people in MLM who are with a 13-year-old or older company or have been with it for any length of time. Most people joined last Monday. They hope to be millionaires by Saturday, working part-time. So you have the most realistic concept of sales and marketing that I've seen in this industry ever.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Ben, Mark and I both saw it the same way. I've been around the block. I've been using network marketing. I was back in the day with the company called Amway,
Yeah.
and I've used different network marketing, more about the product, not so much about building a business. If you don't mind, could I go back to the why MLM? MLM really gives people a real opportunity to build their own business if everything else aligns. You just want to make a comment about, for those that have doubts of what that model is about, maybe for clarity about
Well,
MLM.
I may be part of helping to give it a bad name in that I ran the biggest company in the industry at the time. And we had our legal issues because everybody was sort of feeling their way along. You didn't know what was right and what was wrong, or morally you did, but you didn't know what was legally right or wrong. So we had a complete legal department to do battle with or negotiate with various attorney generals all over the country. And I mean, it was a big legal department. Uh, so with some high profile political heavyweights in it from here in California where I am. So uh, I know the highs and the lows, the goods and the bads, and I know where the bodies are buried. And I've looked for in your operation those triggers that can cause serious problems. And there aren't any except for individual associates who may go off on their own and say something they shouldn't say. As long as you keep them under control, you guys are sailing.
Yeah, thank you for making clarity on that.
Yeah.
Um,
And just to finish up on the MLM question, where else could a guy like me, I was a high school graduate barely by the skin of my teeth. My father said they must have done it on height. When he got to 5'10", they gave you a certificate and let you go. It certainly wasn't. I was in no danger of being the valedictorian. I then went to college and lasted a little less than 3 weeks before I dropped out of that. Uh, then I go to this meeting, and for $91.41 back then, that'd be about $900 and something today, but for $91.41, little uneducated Ben Gay got to be head of his own company with this huge multi-million dollar company backing me up, making the products, doing the research, providing. All I had to do was memorize the scripts and make sure that my mother and sister liked the product. That was my test panel. I had to just memorize the scripts and I was off and running. From that $91.41, rather rapidly, my partner and I were making $40,000 a month in 1966 dollars. That's over 400,000, almost $500,000 a month in today's money. Where else can you do that? The head of Macy's, where I'd worked previously, the head of Macy's wasn't making that kind of money. I was literally making more money thanks to the marketing plan and good products. I was making more money a month than almost everyone I knew and their parents were making a year. So, where else? We'll go get an MBA and go to Harvard Law School and do this and do that. One, I wasn't bright enough. Two, I didn't have the patience. I needed something that gave the little guy a shot. And MLM did it for me.
yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that, because it does give anybody a different type of opportunity than most other business opportunities. It require a lot of talent, maybe, or a lot of capital, a lot of those things that keep people from going into business themselves. Whether it be a lawn care business or whether it be a franchise, it takes a lot of money to get any business off the ground. That's what even in our business here, a small capital investment, and you've got all the resources. I consider, maybe you can just expound on this. I considered a good structured network marketing company, MLM, or however you want to call it. Mm-hmm. if you matched them up to a franchise, they're almost identical.
Sure. Match them up with any business, they're almost identical.
Yeah,
The difference is the little guy gets to own it.
exactly.
As I coined a phrase years ago, I see a lot of people using it today. When you joined the company that I was running, I would say to them, you're going to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Wherever I go, Tom, I'm Ben Gay Incorporated. I felt that way. My father taught me that when I worked at Macy's. I felt that way everywhere I've ever been. I'm Ben Gay Incorporated, and I want to thank you, in the case of Macy's in Atlanta, for building this 6-story city block sized building and filling it with hundreds of millions of dollars worth of merchandise and paying for the ads and creating the marketing that drove them through the door so that I could sell products on commission. That's well, in with ASEA and with any good company, that's the position that they put you in. You are you, and you run your thing, and you make as much money as you possibly can, honestly and ethically, and we'll back you up. If you go to work at a car dealership, look around. They probably have an acre of cars. Right now, that's a little bit of a problem, but an acre or more of cars, different brands. They run the ads. You go to the store and take what the overflow is for you and then create your own business on top of that. But you don't have the millions of dollars that the owner had to sink into that facility. Well, with ASEA, you don't have the millions of dollars it's taken over the 13 years to build this, and you don't have to hire the scientists to get the patents to have the product that is unique, that is powerful and doing good for people slowly but surely all over the world. You just get to walk in and take advantage of that. And with direct marketing, network marketing, MLM, it's even easier than that, because you start as the chairman of the board of your company.
And you get to determine what you want out of it. Some people, an extra $500,000 a month is a big deal, and it is. And then some people say, "Hey, there's what's my value? How do I want to create a business for myself and create legacy?" And I think this is not hype, but you have the opportunity to control your own destiny.
Yes,
it does take work.
True.
Right?
You hear that term a lot, but here it's true.
Thank you. So I'm going to go back to because we've had many conversations with some of the players, but we just recently had a conversation with Tyler Norton, which is CEO of the company, co-founder with his father of this company. Amazing story. We won't get into that today. I think that's part of the reasons, if you're looking for an opportunity, is check out the genesis of this company and see where their core values are, why they're doing what they're doing, the uniqueness of our product and our company, and what this is doing for people's health. But you had an opportunity, and I was privileged to be in that conversation with Tyler. So just share what you've done. You've done your due diligence, but you've also had that opportunity to talk extensively with Tyler. What was your impression of Tyler, the company, and those type of things, the ethos?
Well, Tyler and all of you that I've mentioned, you, Dave Silverman, Mark Gassert, and the other people I've chatted with that have begun to reach out when they heard I had joined. But let's take Tyler in particular. One of the secrets, I have an 86% closing rate in sales and have had for 40, 50 years, ever since I kept track. And people say, "How'd you do that?" And I said, "Well, I cheat. I only sell products that are quality products. ASEA qualifies. That are competitively priced. ASEA qualifies. And I spend my time talking to qualified people, whatever qualified means, financially, religiously, whatever. There are different people that will buy certain things and won't buy other things. Meanwhile, I became, and this is about Tyler right now, Tyler Norton has become a person of class, quality, and substance. And I've worked, as you know, when I worked at San Quentin years ago, I spent 9 hours, 3 different visits, locked in the cell with Charlie Manson. That's sort of the bottom point of my affiliations. Uh, and I've been the attitude coach for the astronauts of Apollo 15, 16, and 17. And I've drag raced through the streets of Oslo with the king of Norway, thanks to a friend of mine who was driving. So I mean, I've been around. I've met the people. Ronald Reagan came to our offices to get a donation and patch up things with William Penn Patrick, who ran against him for governor. My point in saying all this is, from astronauts to doctors to presidents to kings to queens down to Charlie Manson and so on, I know people. I can shake your hand, look you in the eye, spend just a few minutes with you, fewer than most people would believe, and I know who I'm dealing with. Tyler Norton comes out right near the top of that pyramid of people. He is a person of class, quality, and substance. He to his core, and that was sort of the thing that pushed me over the edge. I was ready to join. I'd already written the Hell Is Frozen Over letter, but I really, was still a little hesitant. And I got on the phone with you, Mark, Dave, Tyler, and that was the final thing for me. I told you right after that, let it go. Edit it, do whatever you want, but let it go. I'm in. I'd already bought some product and had used it, but the chat with Tyler convinced me I wasn't in with another. And this will offend some people listening because some people revere him, but one of our top distributors was Glenn Turner, who went on to do Dare to Be Great and Coscott and so on after he left us. Glenn was he was exciting to be around and fun, but of questionable integrity. If he told me he had a hamburger for lunch, I would assume he did not have a hamburger for lunch. Tyler is one of those people, if he tells you something, you don't have to check anywhere else. You just take it to the bank, operate on it, run your business accordingly, because he is solid. And long after I'm gone, 25 years from now, Tyler or Tyler's son, Tyler Norton III or whatever, is going to be running this business because it's going to be here. It is solid. He is solid, and everybody I've met within it is solid.
Yeah, so going back to solid, knowing in my due diligence, the company's been profitable day one, debt free, and they've continued to grow year after year, even through the COVID thing that we went through here. So that tells you a lot about the business acumen of this company and dealing with all the things that companies have to deal with today with shipping and cost and all that. They are doing they're forethinkers in business. So it's not only a great product and great ethos in the company, but they've got some great strategic business people behind the scenes that keep this thing to create what I call a legacy company. They're not here to be here 5-10 years and say, we got the big checks and let's hit the road. They're here for the long term. So, and that's because of the nature of the product. Their mission to bring this out to the world. It's not just another health product. It's very significant. We won't get into that today because we'll provide resources for people to really dive deeper into those areas. Because our product's a little different than a tube of lipstick, that's for sure, right, Ben?
Yeah, they are. I would have to, if I wanted to dig deep into how did it happen, I'd call Mort Scott and ask him. Unfortunately, he passed away about 14 years ago, so I don't have anybody to check on. I'm now down to my gut and listening. I'm a great listener, Tom. I can sit with somebody for 20 or 30 minutes and they would be astounded how much I know about them, because I try not to be creepy about it, but I focus in on them like a laser beam. I listen to the point some say, especially on the phone, are you there? I said, yeah, I'm doing something you rarely experience. I'm listening. So I've checked it out. I've listened to the people who are taking it, using it. I've talked to the people who are making it and the people who are marketing it, and I can't find a hole in the system. It is magnificent. And
Thank
that's
you.
the reason I'm totally on board.
Well, we're sort of, you're in good hands. I mean, when I say in good hands, is we're talking from the top down. This company's interest is number one, the consumer, making sure that they understand the benefit of this product. And I think that's the essence of the company. It's purpose driven, not profit driven. And there's two different things. So they put people before money. You got to make money to be in business. But you're in good hands if you're looking at this company as an opportunity, and I think you're validating that. As a consumer, you're in good hands. You're their interest in making sure that you're getting the benefit of the product and setting proper expectations. And I think that's important with any company or any product. But as moving forward, I love you. We heard this, and like you mentioned earlier, that you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. But I've heard that song and dance before, and in reality, it really wasn't there. And thank God I've been a type of person that can just pick up my own stick and keep walking forward. But we're talking to those people that have a seasoned ability to grab the bull by the horns and move forward. But we're also talking to a person that's looking for some encouragement in a proper way, without hype or anything else. But you're in business for yourself, not by yourself. And I think you've seen that. But you're in good hands. If you make a decision to become a customer, or you make a decision to become an associate with a company, you're not out there by yourself. I've never seen a company that provides this type of support at this level. And I've been around the block like you have as well. So that sort of leads any other comments you want to make about it. You're in good hands.
You are. You really are. Most of our people in the various companies I've been involved with over the years meant well. There were shysters among them. I just talked about one a moment ago. There were shysters among them, but they were backed up by a good product. It wasn't earth-shaking, but it was a good product. This is an earth-shaking product, headed by people who are, as I said, people of class, quality, and substance. You have age on your side. You're not 100 years old like some companies are, but we've had 200-year-old companies here in our little town of Placerville go out of business in the last year. So age doesn't necessarily do it. What does it is quality. Yeah. And sort of, I was thinking of one of the 100-year-old companies here. People say, how does it go out of business after 100 years? Because 100 years ago doesn't matter. It's the management in the last 5 to 10 years that makes the difference. And the daughters weren't up to what their fathers and grandfathers and great-grandfather had established. ASEA has set up a system where, as long as who you bring in is honest and ethical, the machine it's a Rolls Royce. The machine is solid. And it's the reason I endorsed it and joined.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben, for that. And we're sort of wrapping up here is that, we want people to, if they're, number one, if you're looking to something for your health and you're concerned about your health, this is a good place to start. This is a foundational thing, what we call cellular health. It's patents. This company's done what science said couldn't be done. And we won't get into that. That's your due diligence, to those who are listening to it, to really find out what this company, the way Ben did, the way I did, the way everybody else that looks at it from a product. A lot of people just wanted the product because they saw maybe there was hope and benefit for the product. And then they realized it delivered to their expectation. They said, why not become part of this company and share the good news? It's more about sharing good news than selling something to somebody. But those that are watching this in either a replay or in some of the things Ben's going to be pushing out here is the process. We're going to share with you a little bit of what we've put together. Is you want to learn more. So when Ben is communicating with you, there'll be some resources there to learn more. We've got those things in place that you can duplicate and replicate for yourself. How to learn more about what ASEA redox signaling molecules are, what the product is. Learn more about the company. Make your value judgment based on facts. Make your decisions to move forward on facts. And does it resonate like it did with me? It resonated to a core level. Then I've experienced it. And as you know, Ben, I'm pretty passionate about this company, right? There's no
Yes,
doubt
I
about
yes I know.
it.
In fact, a real compliment to you, Tom. It, I've run across a lot of great opportunities. They sort of, I'm the go-to guy for a lot of people. They run it by me first before they take action or so on. So I've had lots of opportunities to join things, but ASEA would have been hard to ignore just because of you. When you said, I'll be here to support you and help you build your organization and so on. I've heard that before too. If anything, Tom, there's too much help. you know, it's just incredible. I told you the other day, or told Tyler Norton, somebody, if we'd had 100 Tom Gins in our organization, I would now be the benevolent dictator of Earth. You do and support your organization directly and indirectly exactly what the heads of companies wish everyone would do. You actually do it. So when I asked someone to join and I said, we'll be working with Tom and Tyler and Dave Silverman and Mark and so on, I don't have to wonder what's going to happen to them. Their calls will be returned, their answers will be given. Uh, Backed up by a solid company and product. It's really an incredible situation. And it caused me to believe that hell had frozen over.
Well, Ben, I'm honored to hear that from you. Somebody that has comes from your background and experience and success. Um, I'm almost lost for words. So, and that's hard for Tom Ginn not to be lost for words.
Yeah, it is.
I'm almost like a Southerner, ask a short question and get the long answer. But the whole process, is supporting Ben and Ben supporting you. We created a process. As we communicate, Ben communicates out that we're going to have a process that I'm leading that process. And so I'm going to be the point of contact moving forward to get your questions answered. If you're curious about the product, or you're curious about the company, or you're curious about whatever, I'm going to be the lead point on that to help support this mission. And Ben recognized the mission of this company is more important than anything else. So we want to make sure that we get the right information out to you. How to join the company. What's the next steps? We have a great platform to bring people through this process smoothly with real expect. And then if you just say, you know what, I've got some health issues, challenges. Let's see if this product can give me some hope and make some changes in that health. We'll help you better understand how to get the product, how to use it with proper efficacy, and setting proper expectations. And I think that's important. What you mentioned early, that we're not here to hype anything or make claims that by law we can't make. Maybe we can prove them, let the science prove things, but we can't make those claims personally. So we have a process. And Ben, you'd like to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, as we film this, all the little buttons and all aren't in it yet, but go through, click on the button that teaches you about the product and the marketing plan and how to contact Tom and therefore indirectly me. I will have my hand in everything. And you just need to spend a little time getting the basic foundation. And then once you feel confident, you are in the right place at the right time. This is for many of us in direct marketing, MLM, and network marketing. This is the thing we've all been looking for a long, long time. In fact, I'm about to crack open my next bottle. This is brand new, unopened. My next bottle this morning. I just got this out of the refrigerator on the way to the office. So I'm 100% in. If Tom tells you to do something, suggests you do something, you can assume I've already endorsed that, because I am completely on board and know, having been through the experience and tested and poked and pulled and questioned and so on, totally on board with the answers you will get and the service you will get. Right place, right time, take action.
Well, Ben, I don't think there's anything better to say than what you just said there. So make that decision. As Bob Proctor said, nothing happens until you make a decision. So thanks, Ben. I'm honored to have you as a friend, first of all. I'm glad we've crossed paths. I think certain things in life are out of our control. I call divine intervention. So I respect that. I respect what you've done for yourself, what you've done for the business community and salespeople. Um, and I'm honored to have you as a business associate here to support the mission of the company. And we just go out and share the good news, Ben. Would you agree?
I agree 100%.
All right. Well, we're going to sign it off and just hold on there, Ben.